Happy Friday. So, I gotta stop doing that. Alright. So I'm gonna tell the story about my mother and my aunt. Well, she's still my aunt regardless. Um, my uncle's, my dad's brother's wife. Like I said, she's always gonna be my aunt regardless. Uh, when we used to live overseas, my uncle, again, my dad's brother, got stationed there. It was like in a total different base. And, every other weekend, because every weekend we would always go on little day trips, because it's the weekend, why not? Every other weekend we would go visit them. And sometimes we would go out, hey, let's go check this place out. Hey, let's check that place out. Let's see what the big deal is. So every other weekend we would go and visit them whenever we had the chance. On this one particular day, well, actually, it was night when this happened. We were leaving. We were going to go start heading back home, beat the traffic, and just go home. We enjoyed whatever we were doing on that Saturday, and it's just time to retire. So, like, whenever you're about to leave a friend's house or a family member's house, of course, you always share some last words before heading off. Well, my dad and my uncle were talking, and my aunt and my mother were talking. I think my brother was still inside their house, possibly in the bathroom. Then again, he may have been with my dad. But I was with my mom, and my mom and my aunt, they're talking in Spanish. My aunt is Dominican, and my mom's Puerto Rican or Puerto Rican. You guys probably already knew who I was. Anywho, so they're talking, they're going back and forth, and this all happened in summer, and we all know when summer comes out, bugs come out, especially at night, especially the moths. And we all know that moths are attracted to light. It don't matter how bright the light is. If it's light and bright, they're gonna fly and attract to it. So they're talking, and bugs are flying everywhere. It's summer. What do you expect? And it's kind of funny because I remember growing up. I still do. I still to this day do. I am terrified of cockroaches. I hate them. When I was younger, we used to live in Texas. Even overseas, we were still, or at least until we got an apartment. But when we used to live off base, we were plagued with cockroaches. I don't like the sound they make when they crawl. I don't like the way they look. When I used to live in Texas, we had some aggressive ones. I have been bit by them. It's not funny. I have been chased by them. I have been terrorized by them. And I'm not sure, but I think it's safe to say that I'm allergic to it, because I remember one brushed past my foot, like literally brushed it, because it was crawling, chasing it, running. And then at one point, one crawled on my leg. Ooh, crawled on my leg. And even with one brush past me and the other one crawled on my leg, I like getting like rash, like hives and bumps, like oh my god, it was bad. Like hives, bumps, ooh. So I mean, I'm guessing I'm allergic. Honestly, I have not gotten tested to back that up, but there's no reason for me to have rashes after being touched by one. There's no reason. Well, anywho, The reason why I said that is because my mother would give me such a hard time with that. But here's the funny part. She would be running too. She killed one using a garbage disposal because it was coming up from the sink and she was screaming. I remember that. But yeah, so she would give me a hard time, but mind you, so back to this story now. Keep that in mind. She used to give me a hard time, and yet when this happened, it was uh, all right, you see, ha ha, it ain't so funny, they ain't so cool. There's nothing to be afraid of. But anywho, so my mother and my aunt were talking in Spanish, and bugs were, of course, flying around. So I'm with my mom. I'm holding my mom, waiting patiently till we get back in the car. Our car was parked up the street. Now, as I'm watching and hearing their conversation, not knowing a lick of Spanish, not understanding what they were saying, everything seemed peaceful and calm until a moth, I actually saw it, and it was a big sucker, flew right past them, like literally in a nice, clean, straight line past the two of them, in between the two of them. When they saw it, and it was quick, but you knew what it was. So this moth shooed right across between them. And as soon as they had that happen, these two ladies, these two grown women, screamed at the top of their lungs bloody murder, like something had happened to make them wail in the way that they did. So they screamed, and mind you, we're outside. I'm pretty sure the whole neighborhood can hear, because the next thing I know, like, of course, when you hear that, you're going to see what happened, because the next thing I know, my aunt makes a break back into the house. My mother, and the next thing I know, because I saw her go in the house, next thing I know, my mother and I, now mind you, like I said, I was holding my mom's hand while they were talking. My mother and I somehow managed to already be across, like already halfway down the road to the car. My mother acted like she was being chased by something. And mind you, the two men, my father and my uncle, are just standing there like going, what the heck is wrong with these knuckleheads? What the heck happened? One rushed back into the house, the other one's halfway down the road with my daughter. What the flip happened? Like, seriously, like this moth, and when I mean big, I don't mean like big as the size of the head. I think like maybe this big or maybe this big. I've seen bigger moths, but this moth was like maybe this big, give or take. Rushed past us, like, phew. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Uh, that is crazy. But yeah. My mom ran for her life. She ran as if her life depended on her. We get to the car. I think my mom was practically yelling down the street, honey, let's go, let's go, let's go, open the door, let's go. She had enough. She was out of there. She's like, come on. And I'm pretty sure she said, if I could drive, I would leave you, but I'm leaving. I ain't taking it no more. Let's go. She was not having it. There's bugs everywhere. No, let's go. And my dad's like, it's kind of funny. Like, he's yelling down the street at her, going, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? My uncle, I mean, I can tell by his face he was trying very hard not to laugh because it was a funny situation. But at the same time, he was trying to be both respectful because my dad is his oldest brother. Or no. He's the older brother. He's the second eldest. I have another uncle who is the youngest, but he's the second eldest, and because my dad was the firstborn, he's the oldest. He was being respectful. But you can tell on his face, he's like, what the flip happened? What did these two do? I missed it. My sister-in-law is down the road with her daughter, and my brother's, he's saying why they're yelling, but he's yelling across the street. What the heck is going on? Two wrongs don't make a right. But it was just a funny situation. I'm like, when I think about it, it's like, wow, you give me a hard time with being afraid of cockroaches, yet you got afraid of a moth that really didn't care about y'all's. Just flew, minded his business. Oh my god, yeah. It was a moth. It wasn't like it ate her baby pet cheese. Oh man.